My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train: The Lost Divinity. Whew! It's a bit of a hot day in here and my air conditioner is temporarily in disrepair, so I do apologize if I become at all extremely sweaty. If at any point I transform into a waterfall, if at any point I spring a leak out of a pore and just psh, and the room fills up and I drown, I apologize for that, and that will be the last thing that I've done with my life. Please print on my tombstone, I'm sorry. Just make that my epitaph, please. Oh my god. So I'm also super excited, not just about Monster Train in general as well. But this is the new PC that I've been teasing for so very long. That's also why the videos have been occasionally missing over the past couple of days. The new PC is all together. It is running. It is directly in front of me. That's the top of the screen. That's the bottom of the screen. It's quite large. I've also never used a 144 Hertz or 1440p monitor before. So there's just like a sensory, experiential kind of joy to this as well. But I'm getting off track. Let's go in with Wormkin. Actually, the game is very loud right now. Maybe the global settings. Maybe I just turn it down a bit on my side. Also, a little over to you, but I turned off screen shake. I thought I already had that off. My apologies. You have 2 copies of Proclamation, single copy of Forgotten Trade, 2 copies of Energy Siphon. Seraph the Diligent is our final boss. We've got Exiled Secondary. That being our Stygian clan. So, immediately when I see a Wormkin run that also has Stygian, I'm thinking about trying to reap double benefit. Reap, not the keyword, reap the lowercase r. Reap double benefit out of a bunch of my cards by getting them to inspire and incant at the same time. So Decayer seems reasonable for that reason. However, the Decayer is 3 size. That is a lot of size. Divine Temple, Merchant of Steel, Stygian banner. Down here we have the Wormkin banner, Merchant of Steel. 5th ring is our 2nd Divine Temple. We've got a 1st Divine Temple in the 1st. So if this is a unit draft that we get in here, that could be super useful for making something really good here, and then just cutting over to the left, trying to find another Stygian unit, trying to run Stygian. So we'll be using mainly non-Stygian spells. Right? Yeah. We would be using Wormkin spells and Stygian units, largely. Do I take Corruptor instead? It's just got good damage. Or maybe I still take Decayer, because it's got better stats by base, and if I'm not really overly keen to use that floor consistently. The Corruptor, I don't know, maybe the higher levels of this path really pay off, but I find it difficult to justify ever taking it. I don't know if I've had a run where I've been keen on taking it. Oh, found a seal. Incant abilities trigger an additional time. That is by far the most powerful thing here. We are going to be taking that. 7 energy on turn 1, thank you, just in case. Especially if we get lost luggage. No boss enemies, enter with spikes. 3 spikes. We ought to be able to take them out, and I would like the extra money. Right. Wait, that is on super speed. Cool. Okay, let's get the Spine Chief on the top floor, because these have rage. Get a Train Steward in the mid. Wait, I'm not going to be able to thrash you enough, am I? Like, that'll kill. 3-2-2-2. I mean, I might get this to die next floor by doing this. Oh, no. I kill it with the Forgotten Power. That's it. Yeah, and then we only have 1 unit to go to the next line. Really Really worried that the sound is overbearing right now, but my meters are telling me everything is okay, so I will attempt to push that concern to the back of my mind. However, know that if that was actually a realistic concern, oops, I was attempting to be considerate of it. I guess? Yeah, I want another unit up there, sure. You know, all that extra energy doesn't really do much for us. Energy Siphon also does nothing for us, though. Two the chumps down. One. Two. I mean, look, I'll give you some spell weakness, but it's not going to be relevant, I can tell you that much. It's the best you can do, it's the best you can do. Proclamation, eh? So there's a few reasons to want to take Proclamation here. Obviously, it's infused, right? So it's actually only extract 1 to deal 50 damage to the front enemy unit. We're lacking damage in the deck right now. It's a 0-cost spell. Although, you know, it's compared to another 0-cost spell as well as a spell that's really, really, really good. It's also attuned, so should we get any magic power synergies, and those exist in the Stygian pairing clan that we have, it is going to disproportionately benefit that Proclamation there. It could easily be Hosting Kin, but I'm currently leaning towards Shelter just to help set up a floor, especially a floor that has totems on. Keep them alive. I'm kind of leaning Crypt Builder here just because we have all the foregone powers. And we have a lot of other 0-cost spells or low-cost spells, right? So a lot of the time we'll be able to play all of those out of hand and then try and get the Crypt Builder out of hand with the Forgotten Power, at the very least in the early game. Helical Crystallis is great as well. Helical Excuse me. Sorry, that is one thing that I was desperately hoping it wasn't going to be relevant. But obviously, I've lost a lot of my configs from the previous PC, so I don't have the coughing mute button. Dang. And obviously, the green screen's a little worse. Yeah, we'll work with it, okay? Helical Crystallis actually got like a huge buff with TLD. Because one of the big problems with Helical Crystallis was always, okay, but if I want to enhance its damage, what? I'm giving it a +10, a +10, and it's doing 45 2 times, and it still costs 2 in a deck that wants to run incants? I don't know about that, friend. However, you should know about that, friend, because you can get an Extreme Stone in this thing. You can get +10 and Piercing in this thing now. The upgrades that are now offered make this disproportionately more valuable than it used to be. To the point that I actually think I'm going to take it for that reason. 100% here for the Stygian unit. We have the Incamp seal. Echo Stone, Strength Stone, Large Stone. Probably not. Boy, howdy. Sure is damage. That's an example of what I was saying prior, right? There's our True Stone for the Helical Crystallis. That's not going to be incredible right now, but you watch. Later on, that is going to be very important to us. Do I upgrade a Proclamation here? The thing is, I did just pick up a bunch of damage. I also picked up... You know what? I don't think I need the Proclamation to have an Extreme Stone in. I'm getting used to having so much screen real estate because I always assume... Like, I'm like... That is the movement that I would have had to make previously in order to get into the new battle. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that sound. I did not re-roll in the shop. I misprioritized, and then I forgot. Hell yeah. Good work, Raps. I mean, I probably just still set up on the top floor, to be honest. The consideration to set up on the bottom floor is I can get 2 incants out. Sorry, 2 inspires out, and then I can use the proclamation, taking out the frontliner. But if the Nameless Siren takes too many thorns, I die anyway. Kind of banking on drawing Helical Crystallis now. Drew it. Drew it. Unfortunately, if I really want max value out of this fight, I got to use that Fracture there instead. I don't think I can afford to. Let's just kill the front soon, be happy with that. That's a good lot in life. That's all the damage you need. Good Helical Crystallis. Beautiful. I might have missed out on a multi-strike there. Bounding Echoes versus Shelter versus Bogfly. So one of the things you're going to want to do with a deck like this is get more draw in it, right? We have a bunch of 0 costs. We want to get a bunch of incants. We want to get a bunch of inspires. Obviously, 0 cost spells work well in there. And obviously with that, draw works well. And a card that affects the rest of the cards in your hand works better when you have more draw. However, how many cards did that hit for us? You know what? Actually, it's super early on. That's not a relevant consideration. Not that I shouldn't consider it. It's that it's not a relevant consideration how many cards it hits for us. Shelter, second copy. That's not bad. Project some defense to the backline. That's really valuable when we run up against Sweep, when we run up against Thorns. And also, it's worth noting, we haven't found a single copy of Echo Infusion. And Echo Infusion is one of the best scaling defensive things that's available in the Wormkin. But it is worth noting that what we're actually going to be looking for is some defensive capabilities from Stygian instead, because those can be really, really valuable. I think Bounding Echoes for exactly that reason. There's the Mollusk Mage. Energy Siphon's not bad here as well. It's worth noting, the only cards that I have that are spell damage are Helical Crystallis and Proclamations. Big damage spells. Another 0 cost spell as well. Let's do it. I'm not keen on any of these. We really should focus on Incant. We have an Incant seal this early. There's no reason not to focus on Incant right now. So we should look at the banner first. We still take the Titan Sentry here as our defensive tool, and then we look to give it Incant gain armor from Merchants of Steel, which does mean I have to visit this Merchant of Steel, despite the fact that I would love to go for a dupe instead. Notice Stone. Whenever a card with Extract is played, gain an energy and gain a candy. That's nice. I have 2 cards with Extract. I might get more, sure. However, whenever a card with Consume is played, all cards gain +1 magic power for the rest of the battle. It is worth noting, currently that only affects the Helical Crystallis as well as both of the Proclamations. And we only have 1 Consume, 2 Consume. 3 Consume. Both of these are speculative in their value. This is speculatively more value. Well, there's the lost luggage. So our opening hand is now 10 energy, right? Because it gives you the 3 by base and then the 7 on top of that, as well as 10 cards. This is the earliest you can get petty theft. We take it. We take it. We're still not going to be upgrading. Well, or rather, we can't. You know, there's no upgrade available for that in the next area anyway, so it's fine. Just a wee bit more comfortable here. Oh God! Sorry! This friend should not be where that friend is right now. I apologize. I did not realize that. Why have you tried to turn on all mods? Most of those don't work at the moment. Alright, well, let's restart the game then. Alright, and that's rectified. And you might notice I am in a different shirt because it is a different day. Hell yeah. Woo. Let's finish this run off. I say finish. We're just getting started here. It's so exciting to run. Alright, Bounding Echoes is definitely going to want to go out. Do I want the Spine Chief? I mean, I could put the Nameless Siren on the top floor, use Bounding Echoes, then put the Spine Chief directly in front of them, and then just cast a couple spells on that floor. However, should I do... Okay, but the Rage is on the bottom line, and then there's 2 sides in mid. Okay, so I have to do that. I'm okay with it. Now, the big thing I want to be able to do here is cast as many spells as possible. I'm obviously not going to want to reap my own units, so instead I'm probably going to use Foregone Power. So all I really want is the Foregone Powers not to discard one another. That said, the Nameless Siren is going to have enough damage in our backline. That's easy. So I could actually try and, I don't know, get out 2 Shiny Stewards on this line, maybe 1 Shiny Steward on the bottom line. Maybe try and start sniping these off with the Fractures. Actually, that's a really good idea. Snipe out the 2 of you. Ooh, I have that unlocked again. Oh, I didn't think I'd turn that mod on. That is the Shiny Steward mod that replaces the faces of the stewards themselves with a bunch of members of the team, as well as some members, some people that aren't members of the team specifically. That is the development team there I'm talking about. That goes there. Hit him with a shelter. Also going to get a Forgotten Trade out. Yeah, Proclamation probably goes on the top floor too. Titan Sentry just to thin out the bottom lines as they come up. Yeah, seems good to me. I am going to need to get some decent damage on Daedalus as well, because the Nameless Siren has 17 HP, but Daedalus also has spikes, so I'm really going to need... Oh, I mean, that's enough damage to an enemy unit. There we go. Cool, and it's a Slay on this floor as well. I might want to Fracture here on the bottom line, though. Yeah. Still think that's probably a good idea. Yeah, that's fine. Should all absolutely be backline targeted. Try and get a decent amount of Reap on there. Yeah, we can see 84 damage from the Reap this turn. And a little further down on my side. Helical Crystallis is great up here. Nothing really to supplement after it, though. Let's just get more spell weakness on you. Do I also want to use a Proclamation here? Could use it on bottom floor, free up a space. Sure. Petty theft again. Nice. Very, very glad about that. 1, 2. Sure. Get more Reap damage there too. Yeah. Here it definitely feels like I just want to get the Nameless Siren stacks up. Although we're definitely like extreme overkill at the moment. That'll do it. Unearthed Remains. Consume to gain an empty slot as well as a filled slot of the old candies there. Also Hoarfrost Effigy as well as Ancient Synergy. I do have space for an expensive spell, and I did say that I want spells that deal a little bit of damage for us, so Ancient Synergy makes a lot of sense there. Hoarfrost Effigy doesn't make much sense unless I get a lot more Frostbite in this deck. The Foregone Powers just aren't enough to fund it, especially in the late game where you're trying to use it on a boss, and definitely in the Divinity fight. Maybe it's Unearthed Remains, though. It's a Consume trigger for the Notice Stone. It's a reasonably expensive spell, but it's one that I would want to get out. It is an Inspire trigger still, because you gain a candy, regardless of whether or not it's infused. No, it's Ancient Synergy. Good damage. Guard of the Unnamed, eh? So Guard of the Unnamed would be the socket for the Titan Sentry, because the Guard of the Unnamed has infused, plus 10 HP, incant for armor 2. And then we'd just be looking to get it incant armor, B, get it, you know, all up and perfect and ready, etc., so on and so forth. Draw, baby. Seems like this is draw to me. Just making absolutely certain that I hadn't misaccounted for something there, or misvouched, possibly. Nameless Siren wants upgrades. Yeah, so we want unit upgrades for a while here. Definitely. Meltant of Steel. Oh, baby, that's the multi-strike. That's exactly the upgrade we're looking for. Do I? Yeah, I think I just hit a spicy reroll here because I'm still looking for a few other things. Endless. That would be good if I weren't looking to actually keep the unit alive. Plus 15 HP, as well as plus 1 to its capacity, and Inspired to give plus 2 damage and armor 2. That actually might be a really good thing to infuse in the Nameless Siren. When are our next two floors are both Divine Temples? I'm not going to find another unit past this point. So if I really want to get something on the Nameless Siren, enhancing its damage as well as giving it some more survivability, enhancing its health as well by base, just so it's, you know, again, more survivable. It's going to be a 3 size. Guard the Unnamed with the Titan Sentry, that's going to be a 2 size. So that'd be our floor, which means that we have Frostbite taking out chumps, and then we have the Nameless Siren with a double hit. The problem with the Nameless Siren being only a double hit is it increases my reliance on other spells, or... Well, actually, this is the problem with it. The problem with it is currently I am open to the possibility of we socket the Titan Sentry, sorry, the Guard of the Unnamed into the Titan Sentry. Would we do the inverse, maybe, actually? Revenge, apply Frostbite 3 to enemy units. Yeah, we actually downgrade the value of the Guard of the Unnamed by putting in the Titan Sentry, but if we put the Titan Sentry into the Guard of the Unnamed, it just gets all the benefit of the Guard of the Unnamed. Sorry, the Titan Sentry. So it's just 50% more armor on Incant is huge. Yeah, I think we do that. It's also worth noting this is a card that is already infused, so when we play it, we'll be getting, you know, more power for our Forgotten Trade, more power for our Reaps that are already active on the floor, you know, setting ourselves up for Extract, setting ourselves up for more value out of the Shelter. Now, ultimately what I was getting to there is after we do that, and after we have the Nameless Siren, if we don't increase the size of the Nameless Siren at all, so we don't use the Shard Soul Carver here, we can just dupe the Nameless Siren relatively late on, right? Around here. Although it's opposite of a Merchant of Steel. You could even do it at the very end, right? And then set ourselves up on the top floor with 2 Nameless Sirens that are increasing their damage ridiculously. The thing is, the survivability then becomes a problem because in TLD, they're going to be sweeping. That is to say, the TLD itself is going to be sweeping. So how do we avoid that? That would be Shard Soul Carver avoids that, but the problem is, I can't get just one capacity gem and fit a duped Nameless Siren with the Titan Sentries in front of it on that top floor. However, maybe I won't need to. Maybe I won't need to. How many spells do I cast on an average turn? I want to say at the moment it's 3. Gets to 4 in the second cycle. Right? So double trigger of incant gaining armor. Say 3, 6, 18-ish a turn. And it's only going to get increased as we get more draw. I think I actually know the solution here. It's a weird one. We might get quick on the Nameless Siren, and then that'll completely invalidate what I'm talking about right now as being a problem. But we double incant triggers. We don't double inspire triggers. So if I get the Nameless Siren to eat the Guard of the Unnamed, and it now gets, you know, incant for armor 2, and then after that, either I upgrade it with another incant for armor 2 from a Merchant of Steel, or I give it multi-strike, or I give it quick to try and limit the problems that's going to cause us. Then I end up with a 2-size Nameless Siren that is kind of everything it needs to be, right? It's survivability, scaling survivability, it's scaling damage, it's banning unit as well, so it's coming out relatively early. So I think I turn these down here, and I think the Guard of the Unnamed goes into the Nameless Siren, and then I dupe it, possibly 2 times even. Money matters. We've got a Merchant of Steel in the next... sorry, Merchant of Trinkets in the next area. I have to take that. Right now, I'm just using the Spine Chief as kind of a block. That's all it's really going to be used as. We found all of our HP... we found all of our damage and health and survivability scaling already with those 2 incants stacked on one another. Non-boss enemy units gain 6 additional damage. I'm okay with this. Yeah, as long as I use the Guard of the Unnamed, I should be okay with this. Okay, no Guard of the Unnamed there. So Titan Sentry and Spine Chief probably go on the same floor. Titan Sentry dies this turn if we put them on the bottom floor. Although we still probably do that. I do want to set up really high so I have the ability to snipe out backliners with spells. Shiny Steward there. Nameless Siren behind will fracture as well. If I can get both Foregone Powers off up here on the top floor, I don't really want to use Shelter until the second cycle because it'll save the Train Steward, whereas I'm actually trying to kill them right now. The Spine Chief on the second line is actually pretty good for taking out the Collector. Nice. Do I want a Forgotten Trade? Literally just to gain magic power by consuming. Ancient Synergy gets hit by that. But hang on, that is 2 times the number of spells in your deck 3 times. Does this decrease over the course of the fight as I consume spells? I can't remember. But also, like, you know, what? I have 1 card that gets affected, 2 cards that get affected. The Petty Theft getting affected is actually really big. That's actually enough to make me do it. Nice. Train Steward dead. Obviously can't chump block on that line. Energy Siphon on the back line. We have how much magic power out of the Notice Stone? At least 2. I believe it is just 2. 1, 2. Yeah, it's 2. So if I Energy Siphon you, I still need you to lose HP before I can then kill you. That is, I still need them to lose HP before I can hit them with the delete button. Speaking of the delete button, I need to just cast a bunch of spells here on the top line. Our survivability demands it. Mm-hmm. Yep, because that's how we heal. Oh, petty theft! You actually have a target. Great, love it. That clipped reflector is going to be a bit of a problem. As many spells as we can get on that top line. Okay, we'll do the extract one, then we'll energy siphon you and do it again. Getting as much damage as we can out there. You are giving armor 10 to just yourself, but my first hit is always the one that deletes that, right? So, I mean, I could also start sniping out these Quill Marksmen, but more spells on the top floor right now, thank you. One of them might get hit with a petty theft soon. That'd be good. Now we can do that at least. Two times. This infuses for the extract. I don't like that I can't get the backliner at all here. Very not jazzed about that. You're kidding me. Are we dead? 23 by 2, 15, 46, 15. Should have just killed Quill Marksmans earlier. It's resolve heal. Oh. It had multi-strike. I know we fought it on the top floor, which is the hardest floor to fight it on, but also we had to set up as high as we could for the sake of the incant triggers. Why? It was so promising. I can't leave it at that. I'm not capable of doing so. I don't care if there's going to be a long episode. Oh my god, that's actually also a really good start. Double Echo Infusion as well as a double Razor Sharp Edge. Root Seeds in the base deck as well. So this is a really good deck for already using our spells in order to try and gain HP, in order to gain damage, in order to gain draw, in order to gain scaling basically across the board. Why am I talking about those kinds of things consistently? It's because when you want to win a run against, against Monster Train broadly, there are a bunch of things that you need to account for. You need to account for how do I kill 2 big dudes in a row, or 3 big dudes in a row, as the case may be later on. How do I account for sweep? How do I account for thorns? How do I account for, all of these kinds of different things? How do I account for the enemy being stealthed? How do I account for the scaling damage of the boss? How do I account for the melee weakness that's going to be applied to my frontline unit because I'm versing Seraph the Patient? Those kinds of things, right? And 2 of the considerations you make is how can I scale my damage and how can I scale my defense over the course of a fight, right? So that I can actually overcome the numbers the enemies are going to put out. And if I see in my base deck, hey, scaling of your defense and scaling of your offense, I already know we're out to a good start. Got an Awoken banner here next to a Merchant of Steel. There's also a Hellvent and a Wormkin banner next to a Divine Temple. What I would love to see right now would be the Awoken banner has... the Awoken banner has the the Animus of Will, because we don't have the... Yeah, we have Root Seeds as our starter cards for the Awoken. We don't have Restore, so we don't really want to see a new frontliner from here, or Rejuvenate frontliner, like a, the Hollows, etc. But we have a good opportunity here to buff up a Merchant of Steel, with the Merchant of Steel, rather, a Animus of Will, go down here, get a Wormkin, infuse it in, and then Hellvent, which I would just love to do. Maybe I take the Spine Chief here. I do have a little bit of Extract, but not too much. Spine Chief, my god. I'm going to take the Corruptor, just because I don't really take the Corruptor much at all. To the middle floor, though. The problem there is we can be hasted past. And I'm not really good at killing enemies. Oh, well, the Fractures and the Razor Sharp Edges will... Okay. I'm going to still try and do the Sketches of Salvation here. Grant +1 stack of Reap each time it is applied. While we do have the Fractures, we're not really going to be basing a huge amount of our gameplay around Reap, and Cleansing Water is really, really good. I've said it a couple times before, but it helps because it clears a lot of the buffs that the enemies are going to get as a result of the pack shards, increasing them. Spine Chief go top line. Oh, that's a familiar face. Let's Fracture you and then Echo Infuse. Just try and keep as many units alive on that floor as possible. And then the rest of our Echo Infusions go on the top line. Yeah. Well, I should probably raise a Sharp Edge here, just for the damage. Eh, should I? No, I'm gonna Root Seeds. You'll get damage out of having the Charged Echo stacked up. I mean, there's no reason to consume that now. Hey, cleared all the buffs off the Chains Decided there. Love to see it. Alright, I'm gonna use the Razor Sharp Edge just to kill the enemy. Save myself as much HP there as I possibly can. This is fine. Fracture, Fracture, use the Foregone to get 3 energy back, and then we'll Fracture and... Do I want to Fracture the back line so that I can use a Razor Sharp Edge on the top line for myself? Sure. I was thinking of killing that with a Razor Sharp Edge, but I think this is ultimately going to be better off for us. And it is. Good work, Spine Chief. Bounding Echoes is already infused. That Sting is infused. Alright, sure. Let's take a delayed but free infusion. Multi-strike 1's already pretty spicy. There's the Animus of Will. I mean, look, I asked for it. What am I going to do? Back away from it now? So you get Multi-strike 1. The thing is, I don't know what defensive upgrade they're going to need for a while yet. But also, I don't get to get another defensive upgrade on them. Maybe I just give them the Heartstone. Makes them an easier target for the Razor Sharp Edges. You know what? Yeah, let's just do that. Divine Boons. Yep. Maybe I should have taken that and then re-rolled, but what was I going to take? Quick? Probably. Large Stone? Definitely, actually. Dang, Large Stone would have been the great pick there. Can I set up low here? Animus of Will's behind there, so not really. Reconciler applies sap to the attacked unit. You definitely get Root Seeds. And then I need to tank up the person in front of you. You definitely get Fracture. Also gonna put the Spine Chief on the... I don't want to put the Spine Chief on the top floor. Fine, you go there. It's just gonna get sapped and do nothing. But... I guess that's gonna have to be okay. Okay. This looks like it's ultimately going to work out reasonably for us. Raise Sharp Edge kills you. Use the Forgotten Trade there. 2 damage 2 times, so if I fracture the back line, front line is not going to die. Oh. That's not how I figured that one was going to resolve. I know that once they get to the next line, I can kill them all, so what? I'll just kill you, it's fine. Yeah. We had enough body block as well as enough damage on the Animus of Will that I was pretty comfortable there. Big reason to go for an extra multi-strike, despite the fact that the Animus of Will already has a bunch of multi-strike, is the amount of attack buffs that I have in the deck. Another Bounding Echoes. Another Echo Infusion, though. Health scaling... Yeah? Yeah. Health scaling matters a hell of a lot here. A Wildwood Sap versus a Sharpen and a Vine Grasp. Vine Grasp for rearranging units on the midline can be pretty good. Just in case I end up with a tank as well, and I've got the 2 Animus of Will that want to stand behind the tank. How likely I might end up with a tank as well? Not very. Is 1 Vine Grasp really going to be too much for me? I don't think so, and reorganizing my enemy units is pretty... Wow. So first of kin. Etch to give +5. So consuming on the floor with the Animuses gives +5. Great. 1 consume, 2 consume. Deck's not really suitable for it, but it's good. +5 and Inspire. So anytime we use one of the inspiring spells, we get +1/+1 on all of our Animuses of Will in the middle line. Put a Keeper of Echoes in it. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, but Keeper of Echoes, Inspire, apply +1/+1 to friendly units. Actually, having the Keeper of Echoes just sit there by itself is pretty good. It doesn't have to be with Animuses. So this can be the tank. Oh, that's opening up a brand new line. I like that line. That's a good line. All right, well, that means we do go back over in this direction. First look at the Divine Temple, just because we can for free. Value Stone, True Stone, neat. Wormkin Banner. Bog Deep Cocoon. Gives +20, +10, +1 capacity, and trample. Wow. Yeah, that goes in the Animus now. Oh my god. That is so cool. Engage Pact. Sacrifice the Bog Deep Cocoon into the Animus of Will. Perfection. Value Stone hits nothing. True Stone hits nothing. Don't really want any of those upgrades, especially for the costs associated with them. We'll go to the Concealed Cavern just in case we get an upgrading a minion. Upgrade it with +2 to its size. +30, +30. Dude. Oh, they get summoned by the GD Salvation. Woo! Okay, cool. After how rude last run was to us, I think this is fair. To us. It's exclusively fair to us. Oh, look at this. It's so big. Oh, it's grand. Root seeds. Root seeds. Just buff the ever-loving heck out of that floor. Middle's already holding for itself. It doesn't care. When's our next dupe? 4 spaces away. Okay, that's fair. That is very, very fair. Double buffs. So buffs are represented by green icons. So regen, rage. We don't do that. Unearthed remains. I mean, yeah. It's kind of an inspired trigger, but it's not a great one. We don't really care about keeping those on that floor. We skip. When played. Not when summoned, when played. I might take that Husk Hermit, actually. So the big reason for the Husk Hermit is to infuse that into the Keeper of Echoes. How far are we from infusing? 2 spaces time. Is to infuse that into the Keeper of Echoes just to get 20 extra HP in there. Oh, sorry, 30 extra HP, actually. I mean, I could also take an Animus of Will and then infuse that into a Keeper of Echoes so that it's actually doing some damage at some point, but I feel like my damage is already accounted for. And the Keeper of Echoes can be pulled to the front line with a Vine Grasp relatively quickly. Still takes us a bit to get there. I think we do it. Okay. And then we're exceeding capacity on the middle floor with... I could easily take energy for the second one, but this for this. As for Merchant of Steel upgrades here, I prefer removals, because then we can guarantee that midline gets all of the correct units in. Oh. God, they're really giving us a lot of Animus' Will here. Wilting Sapwood just reduces the cost by 2. Honestly, if we could get the Wilting Sapwood to actually be the unit in the front line, but I really like the scaling from the Keeper of Echoes, so I don't think I will be taking that. It's a way to gain a bunch of energy. It's not bad. But I'm also not really going to want to support it at all. Supporting that is going to drag us down. Yeah, remove those 2. Probably Capricious Reflection here. Volatile Gauge is nice, but I have a lot of 0 costs. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and a decent amount of 1s. Yeah. If this still randomized between 0 and 3, I'd probably take it now, but it doesn't. Capricious Reflection. Now here, I'm happy to just reduce the cost of every Root Seed. And I'll leave them all in the deck. They, frankly, have a grand home here and will forever. Now, do I want to purge a card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll actually purge 2 Shiny Stewards here. Soul Sword and a Merchant Trinkets in the next area. Oh, that makes it harder. I'm still going to do it because then that guarantees that the midline is both of them. Maybe I only remove 1 right now. The midline's already good enough with just that. Getting the next level of Corruptor, honestly, just to see how high it gets. 10 per. It's probably going to be 20 on the next level, right? If we can find a way to descend it, we might actually end up putting it in the middle floor as well. That's pretty much the ideal floor right there. Yeah, nothing really to do there. Good sting. Definitely going to double echo infuse on this floor. Yeah, I don't need to use the Forgotten Trade this turn. Don't really benefit too much out of doing that anyway. There we go. Bounding Echoes hits the Echo Infusion. Absolutely ideal. This is why we need the extra HP on that Keeper of Echoes. Yep, there you go. We'll still be fine, don't get me wrong, but it's to ward off any problems like this in the future. Beautiful. And I'll just get rid of that card. I don't really want that back. Not that I have time to draw it back. Before we win the fight, that is. Get him! Symphony of the Soul has holdover. Oh, if only I gave buffs. Permafrost on the Revenge of the Damned. Slay gains 2 charged echoes. That might not be bad. 2 charged echoes is 2 triggers of Inspire for the Keeper of Echoes. Return a consume spell to the top of your draw pile from Broken Memories. I mean, look, I could put like a just Bounding Echoes back atop the deck. Bounding Echoes or Forgotten Trade back atop the deck at that point. It's also Permafrost, so to be in the right hand at the right time. If this was infused, it'd be a no-brainer. I'd take it. It's not gilded, and it might be useful. The Restoring Retreat having holdover actually makes me less keen on it. But it does give me the ability to get the Spine Chief on the floor with everyone else giving them ridiculous buffs. So I should take it. I'm just going to be a little bit mad about it, you know? Just a wee bit grumpy. Look at Merchant Trinkets for free information first. Thorn Casing. I could, but I probably won't. Rationing Scales and Golden Vault. Well, I want both of these. I think we can take the Rationing Scales and gain money. Before each battle, set Pyre health to 50. If this reduces Pyre health, gain 3 gold for each health loss. There's also the Golden Vault for trying to save ourselves HP. Unless we get hasted past a bunch, this is not going to be super relevant for us, so we'll take the Rationing Scales. Maybe that should have been exactly the reason to not take the Rationing Scales and instead take the other available option, but alas, this is what we have done. Just reduce your cost. This now just means it's a descend for enemy units on holdover if I need it. Sure. Then we engage in the pacts. The Husk Hermit goes into the Keeper of Echoes. There's some HP for you, friend. True Stone to give piercing to that Revenge of the Dam. I'm actually really, really pleased with that. I don't think any of these... What, plus 40 HP? Plus 40 HP, and it gets transmuted for 3 per, right? So 12. We get back 12 of this, but then it's... That's to say 112. 120. Yeah, reroll. Ooh. Well, now my cup floweth over. Carving Corsica. Whenever a card with Extract is played, gain an energy as well as a charged echo. That's the one we need. We also want Winged Steel. Let's see if we get the money for both. Interesting. Friendly units get plus 10 and Heartless. I mean, I'm non-traditionally healing all of the units that I ever heal, right? We've got a Restoring Retreat, but we don't really use that for healing. We're using Echo Infusion, we're using Scaling from the Keeper of Echoes. That's how we're getting HP. So it really just comes down to, do I want a Heartstone on the Keeper of Echoes, or do I want 10 HP on everyone? And it's because I can upgrade that Keeper of Echoes myself that I don't think I'd go for that. So I'm going to go for the Petrified Heart. Unfortunately, we get less money from our rationing scales now. Carving Corsica. Alright. Alright. Almost enemies. Yeah, restore all health when you move off the floor. See if I can. See. I don't really want to sting on that floor. And probably not if I can avoid it. Let's get our tank in front. Perfect. Perfect. Then it's just root seeds. This thing isn't scaling HP ridiculously, but that's okay. We weren't really expecting it to. It's the Echo Infusions that give it scaling. So, you're giving plus 10 damage per gem, and we have 12. So 120 damage is being given to every unit on that floor. That seems okay. That's all I'm saying. It seems like that's an okay amount. I mean, I can just set you down, but there's no reason to. I also don't really want to play it. Get it to hold over to the next hand. If at all, I can avoid that. Pop as many of the Echo Infusions as we can. That's fine. As long as we keep the Revenge of the Damned for the Disciple Protector. Honestly, we were going to be fine either way, but it's just how I wanted that to roll out in the end, frankly. Alright. That seems like enough damage on this floor. You're doing almost 1,000. You're doing more than 1,000. This is the kind of scaling that defeats the TLD. I'm very comfortable right now. Forgotten trade for a bunch of energy on a random turn that we decide of. Not bad. I feel a lot better with this and with the Carving Corsica about going for another draw gem. Draw +1 each turn on that Wild Custodian. Comes in with Rage 7. Do I want to root someone for 2 turns? Not really. Invigorating Solutions, totally fine. Pretty comfy with that, in fact. Okay. I don't desperately need to upgrade my spells anymore. Now, this Divine Temple had no one I was joining, right? It had not enough units to even synthesize. Let's remove a Shiny Steward, because we will be making... We're just making space right now, rather, for the ability to dupe an Animus of Will. We could dupe a Hermit of Echo, Keeper of Echoes to try and get more HP, but we'll see, we'll see. I mean, maybe I get it some really good upgrades here, and then I do that. Plus 10 and Spikes 3, probably not really worthwhile. We're just looking for Heartstones and Large Stones. We can get a Heartstone here. When's our dupe opportunity? It could be in the next area, but there's Merchant of Steel next to the Hellvent and an unstable port. So we're going to go down here. which means that's where we're doing the final dupe, which means I don't need to settle on any upgrades right now. As for the final removal here, honestly, these fractures want to get out of the deck because a lot of the time I don't have units to cast them on. They're one of the worst ways for me to trigger that. I could even actually probably go in here and purge one for some pack shards, and obviously I have to cast it. Yeah, I think that's worthwhile. I think we're far enough ahead of the power curve that that's a play. Don't you dare put incants on the midline first turn. Oh my gosh. Get down there, Spine Chief. It's Divine Grasp, getting the right unit in front. Can't cast anything else at all. Ugh. That was a bad hit with the incant there, but at least we got the reorganization of the units. Yeah, we can trigger both of those next turn. Good. Incant there means that we're not going to get it for a while. $15 twice, so we killed the back line. Getting a bunch of Inspire triggers there. Thank you for the Blinding Dark Shard. Oh. We're actually going to be able to cast all of these as well, despite their increased cost. Love that. Gain a bunch of energy. Can't really do too much else. It's unfortunate that Revenge of the Damned isn't going to work this turn. Could have been perfect. That'll have to be good enough. Nice. Just focus on making sure we get as many Echo Infusions out as possible, because that's our HP scaling. I couldn't even save the frontliner in the end. Yeah, reason is the enemy still had a turn of stealth there. Wow. Wildwood Tome to apply quick. It's got Consume removed, so I have the ability to play it multiple times. Don't mess with what ain't broke. Draw. Of course. Absolutely, of course. Is there ever a world where I put, like, another unit in the midline? Like, I do dupe here an Animus of Will, and then in the next area I also dupe a Keeper of Echoes, and then we use the Restoring Retreat to just pop both of them down. I actually really like that. I like that a lot. The only problem is it'll actually fight with our Spine Chief unless we get the Keeper of Echoes, and it doesn't have a large stone. That is to say, unless that is the unit that isn't placed. Because otherwise my top floor has to be, you know, first turn I'm drawing the Spine Chief, and I'm drawing the banner unit that isn't on the floor, right? Because I'll have 3 Animuses of Will, as well as 2 Keepers of Echo, and Sketches of Salvation summons 4. So that means on the first turn, I would need to be able to descend someone, so have Restoring Retreat in the opening hand, Or I would need Husk Hermit, the Keeper of Echoes to be it so that I have 5 capacity so that I can put them both on the top floor. Otherwise, I have to wait a whole cycle before I put an Animus of Will down and then send it down. But honestly, is that bad? It's still giant in terms of its impact. I still think we do that. Emblem of Exile is really good here. Just gain some HP on that frontliner. A little bit more defensive scaling. When your champion is played, gain 50% max health. Yep. None of those were hugely relevant to us. 20 per. Nice. I mean, you know, is there anything else we want to Hellvent instead? Honestly, it'd just be another Echo Infusion. It doesn't matter if they have Spell Shield. It doesn't matter full stop, frankly. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm gonna get out early with that one. Oh, I should have done Bounding Echoes first there. That's my bad. It's highly my bad. I'm just gonna consume that. Try and speed my way through the deck. Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for anything to damage us at all. It's going to be a rough go of trying to do that for the enemies here. Root seeds. Buff. Yeah, because I'm just doing a casual almost 1,500 damage at quick speed. So I can see how that could end up being a problem. I'm really glad to have gotten this version of the Spine Chief off. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but I'm really glad to have gotten this version of the Spine Chief off, rather. Had never done that before. Good lord. I still can't believe... I'm still thinking about the first run this episode. Of course I am. I've been doing so well on stream, like just streaking on stream, and then I get on YouTube and what? Suddenly I'm not good? Oh. It's good to have this here to finally get us our first win. Feel hard done by some of those runs, but also that I had messed up in many of them, frankly. Forgotten Trade. No, not super necessary. This does have an extract on it. So this is infused, and it's Slay 2, and it's extract. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 triggers of Inspire. We'll take that. Well, Restoring Retreat would have been way better as the way that we got... That Restoring Retreat, rather, would have been way better as the way that we got our Descending, but oh well. I'm gonna reroll. Okay, yeah, I'll just take the Heartstone here this time. Okay, and then we... Doob you. Divine Temple Value Stone. Make Wildwood Tome quick and easy. Get the other Revenge of the Damned to meet the same Revenge of the Damned that I already have in the base deck. It's just Fractures that get out of here. Haste our way through the draw pile. What do you got, Merchant of Trinkets? Whenever a card with Consumer's Blade, gain a candy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than nothing. Friendly use cancel +5, I guess. As for the removals, the thing is, like, the ideal deck for me probably doesn't even need both razor sharp edges there. Yeah, Vine Grasp is still needed for the reordering. Other than that, honestly, this is kind of like almost the perfect deck for us. I think I need to remove another card. Alright, Seraph. Let's go. Mid-floor only got a single Keeper of Echoes. That's okay, because it does mean I get my Keepers on the top floor, which I really wanted. However, it's also not great for the HP of that unit. Yeah, that's fine. And then you go to 47. 47 dupes 2 times. It doesn't kill the Animus of Will. Still going to get the Animus of Will in back to be the quick one. Okay. We'll be a lot better equipped to take the damage with the Keeper of Echoes in the front line already. Oh my god, this Bounded Echoes is going to hit 2 of the Echo Infusions. That is perfect. Absolutely ideal. I'm just letting that top floor resolve as it currently is, frankly. Let's make the one in the back line the most damage. Cool. Send down the unit that is going to be buffing everyone else this turn, because that's the thing that matters the most. We know Seraph is going to be doing a decent amount of damage. That's just going to happen. It's the one doing the damage to the Keeper of Wills at the moment. Keeper of Echoes, rather, at the moment. But every time I Inspire on this floor, I'm giving the Seraph 1 damage, which is duped to 2 from the melee weakness, but I'm also gaining 2 HP. Well, I mean, even more than that when I'm playing something that boosts our HP specifically, but you get what I mean. I mean, the Consume doesn't need to be played. Oh, it does. It does, because it still triggers Inspires. Oh my god. Look at the HP of the Seraph in the back line there. You regretting something, friend? Do you find you're regretting something at all? Because were I you, and I'm not, so take this with a grain of salt, friend, but were I you, I would be in amidst many regrets right now. Okay. What I'm seeing here is a opportunity to get that big old Revenge of the Damned out, and then just win. That seems like that'd be pretty good. Just to send you away and even get more damage. Okay. Okay. We finally have the run that breaks the streak. Oh my god, we actually get to send the right units as well. Good op. I mean, we're gonna buff that one because that's gonna become the frontliner. Still don't have the ability to descend anyone, unfortunately, but I can make you quick, saving a decent amount of HP. See, the problem here, both of those Revenge of the Dams want to be cast next turn, if at all possible. And it is possible, so we should do it. Kill both of the backliners in the next turn. Yeah, they're so good once I have the other Keeper of Echoes down here. That's quite likely. In fact, it's guaranteed to happen next turn because we're drawing through all of the rest of the cards in the deck. There we go. You go down. Heals blocked. Whatever. Yeah. That dies. Bunch of Inspire triggers. That dies. Bunch of Inspire triggers. We pull the tankiest of them to the front. Honestly, energy is no longer a concern for us. Look at our draw pile. It's just 8 cards. We're now consistent. We have reached consistency. Wait. Okay, yeah, this one doesn't have quick yet. We draw 10 cards a turn, but we only have 8. 16? Hang on. Nope, we have more cards than I thought. That's okay. Frankly, I'm glad for it. It means we're not wasting it. Oops, hit the wrong target with that. I'll wait for the next hand to get both Revenge of the Damned out. Perfect. Perfect. And then I realized that I can't wait for next hand because the last Divinity is dead right now. Yep, that's a spicy Animus of Will, baby. 5 size. Hell yeah. You know, if we had to choose one of the runs that we've done so far to beat the Divinity, I'm glad it was this one. Beautiful. Let's get our way to this run summary screen so that I can say that my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Monster Train The Last Divinity. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all of my content of the game, past, present, and future. If you do like the videos, please click like, especially near the start of a new series on a game that's kind of hot at the time. Matters a hell of a lot for the growth of the channel. That is more than you should know. Could know, rather. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see ya next time.